there, Lindsay Walden here with you. I am a licensed professional counselor, a certified sex therapist, and a relationship coach. And in today's video blog, I really want to talk about the importance of healthy communication. I'm sure you know that. I don't think anybody walks around thinking that communication isn't important. But what I have found over the last 15 years in my clinical practice is that developing healthy, lasting communication tactics that work for the long-term process in a relationship really does take some effort, some attention, and some focus on trying to streamline those practices. So in today's video blog, what I really want to talk about is my relationship communication guide. I have basically taken my 15 years of clinical practice and I've tried to squeeze it into this 5-page guide of my best practices, some tips and tricks to help you start developing the relationship communication that's going to really work for what you're needing, what your partner's needing, and that's going to help with the long-term health and success of your relationship. A lot of the things that I find in the couples that I work with is that finding the right time to bring up difficult topics, that's something that comes up a lot. Knowing how to not get emotionally charged and reactionary versus being, more thoughtful about how you want to respond, that comes up a lot. And then also I have people that tell me that a lot of times they will have really great ideas of what they want to say to their significant other. And then once you get into that zone and you start talking and communicating, your brain gets all scrambled and it's hard to really remember all of the points that you wanted to bring up. So that's why I created this guide. I wanted there to be a way for you to brainstorm what it is that you want to share with your partner, to really think through the elements of what isn't working for you in your relationship or in the communication, and you want to have a really good baseline reset of the communication. There is no magic, right? It's not like we just snap our fingers and it all goes to the way we want it to go. It takes work, it takes consistency, and it takes practice. But that's actually part of why I created this guide, because I wanted you to have like a starting point. I wanted you to have a way where you can jump off, kind of springboard into creating better relationship communication. So in the guide, I talk about the importance of scheduling a time to have deep conversation. I talk about the importance of creating balance in the conversation so that it's not just one of you that's dominating the whole communication and each of you have a chance to express how you're feeling. Then I go into some detail about how to not just react emotionally, but to actually process what your partner is telling you, and then to react and respond to that from a very deep, emotionally connected perspective, rather than just throwing back emotion right away, because that's not always going to be like our best way to respond. Think about it. When you've been very emotionally charged about something, you are probably not at your best. And so I go through in the guide the importance of like balancing out and regulating that emotional reaction so that you can respond in a more thoughtful, logical way. I still want you to have your emotion, okay? I'm not suggesting you get rid of it. I just don't want it to be the thing that's driving you down the process of having this communication. Okay, so then the other thing I've done in this guide is I have given you some brainstorming topics, sort of an outline of here's how you can go through the process of developing some healthy communication. And I really want you to jot down some thoughts to give yourself, something to look back on so that when you get into the conversation, your brain doesn't get all scrambled and you forget the important things that you wanted to share or bring up. I think that's one of the biggest things I hear also from my clients is that they feel like they had all of the best intentions, but then when they sit down to actually have the conversation, they forget half the things they wanted to say. And then because they haven't said them, they still sit there beneath the surface and kind of spin and fester a bit. And then that's not allowing us to let any of that steam off. I'm not suggesting that every conversation has to be deep and insightful and super intense from an emotional perspective. But that is an important part of relationship communication, is figuring out how not only to talk about the good things and the fun things and the things we enjoy, but to also be able to hash out the things that aren't working so well. So that's what this guide is all about. And I'm so happy to bring it to you. I've been using it with clients for the last probably 6 months now, and just really wanted to bring it to you in this video blog with a little bit of an explanation as to what you're getting when you download it. I do hope that you will, and I would love to know what questions you have as you go through it, because the more that y'all interact with me, let me know what's working, or let me know what questions you have, the more I know how to come back in future weeks and give you some really actionable steps that you can take. So I hope you will click the link to download the free guide. Go ahead, practice it, give yourself a chance to not be perfect at it, okay? We're not going for perfection. We are simply going for learning how to practice and put these steps in place. I don't want you to hold yourself to a standard of perfection. It is okay to not have everything figured out, and to know that you're on a journey and you're in a process of learning best practices. So I will let you go for now. I do hope that you download it and let me know what questions I can answer for you in a future video. Talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.